What is up, fanboys and fangirls? Welcome back to another episode of TV Talk. We're here to review and react or whatever and discuss whatever is going to happen for the season finale and probably the whole season in general of Watchmen. Yeah. My name is Luke, and this is Mr. Tyler.
I am Mr. Tyler. To my right, the beautiful Brett Eitzen.
Ooh, I appreciate you calling me beautiful today.
I tried.
I overate at lunch it was our Christmas lunch.
See, the nice thing is the table covers it's like right below.
I strategically wore black.
Yeah, good.
Very
Black is slimming. Yeah, you look great.
Thank you. Season finale.
Yeah, it's over.
Which is sad.
It is very sad.
I
cried. Not actually.
I didn't think we were gonna make it, but we did.
We did. It's kind of surreal that show actually happened. Because this is not something that anybody probably ever thought would get a sequel.
And it had two this year.
Yeah.
Which is even weirder.
Yeah. I always forget about Doomsday Clock.
Yeah, the show kind of just
overshadows that.
Pushed it out of the way, but that is actually ending this week, I'm pretty sure. So I'm going to
go out on a limb and say that it's probably not as good as the show.
I think that's a safe bet.
Based on the noise that I'm hearing. But let's talk about the show a little bit.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's talk about, first before we talk about the show, like the season in general, let's talk about the episode.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. They did it.
They killed Dr. Manhattan.
They did. They did the thing.
I don't even remember what we all predicted.
I didn't.
A week ago.
I got the prediction about True and her father, but they were not on the same page like I thought they'd be.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of had the prediction about the 7th Cavalry stuff being from her. She was letting them take it. She was letting them use it, unbeknownst to them. But
yeah, I didn't really predict it, but I brought up that Vite was in the gold statue.
Yeah. That was like the first thing after I knew you had watched it. I was like, dude, you were right. And you're like, yeah, it wasn't mine. I was like, what? No. You're not right. You've lost all credibility.
Take credit for that one.
Ray is not a clone. I just want you to know that Dana is so bought in on that.
Yes. But yeah, Dr. Manhattan is dead and gone. At least one.
So we think.
What?
Yeah.
The original.
Yeah.
John Osterman.
John Osterman is dead.
So yeah, here's the great thing about David Lindelof and his writing. Just it all ties back in together so well.
Mm-hmm.
Part of that's really, really rewarding, and how it is in this episode is with the egg.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh man.
What, the first shot in the entire show was an egg, wasn't it? No, no, with Angela, because it was the
first shot you see with Angela is an egg.
Yeah,
the egg smiley face when she's teaching.
Mm-hmm.
It's all been right in front of us the whole time.
Yeah,
it's crazy. But and then you're like, eggs are throughout the entire show.
Yeah. So actually, I don't know if you guys have listened to the podcast that HBO.
Enlighten us.
So he talked about this and how the eggs and everything ties in. He said it's so crazy to say, but his inspiration for this, it's funny to hear him say it. It's funny to hear myself repeat it. Mm-hmm. He said his inspiration for this was Saw 2.
What?
A movie he's seen one time, because in that movie, the detective's son gets captured by Jigsaw and he's put in a box. And the whole movie, you're not realizing this, but the box is where he is, and it's right next to the detective the whole time. And so his whole thing was like, I want to show you what it is, but I want it to be right in front of you the whole time, and you just don't know it.
Yeah.
And so he writes with that in mind. So like when you watch his stuff in the future, you'll probably catch on. He said that inspires a lot of what he does.
That's crazy. That's really cool.
I've never seen Saw 2.
Yeah, I haven't either. Well, actually I have, but I don't remember it.
I've never seen Saw 1.
Been so long.
Yeah. You're not missing much. But no, he kind of talked about that, and it kind of blows your mind, like the whole egg thing. The episode where he talks about all this is just titled Eggs.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Succinct and to the point.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just his writing style. You're right. Like he likes to bring things all together. Everything comes together, but also nothing ever ends. Like that's his big thing too. And kind of a big thing in
And
general.
it's crazy because like you totally forget about some of the just smallest things.
Yeah.
But then you remember it and you're like, oh wow, that was really important. Like for instance, Dr. Manhattan on the pool. She's like, why are you on the pool? And he's like, it's important for later.
Yeah.
It's how she would test whether it worked or not.
To test if she has the powers, she goes out and tries to walk on the pool. It's like,
Yeah.
Oh. And that was cut wonderfully.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There at the end, where it's just like
I like how we don't actually know, but we can all guess.
right.
Yeah, she's got the powers.
And it's one of those things that whether or not they decide to make a second season, it's a great ending to an entire series.
Mhm.
Like if the series is just one season, it's a great ending.
Mm-hmm.
If they are going to do a season 2, it's a great stepping off point into what's the next story we can tell.
That's a good point that you bring up, like about the season. I think we should probably answer that. Do you want a season 2? Like, would you? I mean, obviously, we would watch a season 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, do you want a season 2?
I don't know if I can answer want. We don't need one,
No, we definitely don't need one.
but I honestly I don't know. I think I would need to sit on it longer. Like maybe if I eventually watch it again, I'll be like, you know what? I really want to see more of this.
I want
I want to see more of what Lindelof can do. I don't know yet.
Same.
See, here's the thing, though.
Yeah.
He has said he doesn't want to do a season 2, but he'd be okay with someone else doing it.
Mhm.
I don't
And
know if I want someone.
I don't
else
want
to do
anybody
that.
else to do it
Yeah.
either.
I want HBO to be like, go do another project.
And then maybe
take
come
a
back.
year. Figure out we want you to come back for season 2, but we want you to do it on your
On your terms,
on your
absolutely.
terms. Come back when it's ready.
Mhm.
Because I do think just the business behind it. There's gonna be a season 2.
Yeah.
It's almost a guarantee.
It's
Just
too
because of the
successful.
business. If you could get away with not having a season 2, I don't think you need it. But I'm all for a season 2. Just if Lindelof's coming back.
Yeah.
So I wanted a season 2 until it ended. And I was like, I don't want any more of this.
Yeah.
To me, like, and I hate using perfect, but to me this season was perfect.
Mm.
Every beat, every episode, every character, everything to me was just so well done. And I know going back into that world, like it would be hard to capture that magic again. Like you there's no going up from here, right? I mean,
So what I would want in a season 2 is an actual narrative for Regina King's character. Because that's the one disappointment I have with this season is that I don't feel like she was an interesting character for 2 episodes at the beginning.
Mhm.
And then it became
Everybody
here's all your
else,
favorites from the comic, right? And she really took a backseat to that, which worked in the essence of the season because of how the season all ends up tying together and whatnot. And she's a good kind of audience vehicle where it's like, okay, we're going to experience things kind of through her eyes. That said, she doesn't really make that many choices. She's not that, she doesn't end up being that interesting of a character. And I would love to see her. What does she do with these new powers? Because I think Regina King could act the hell out of that.
Mm.
oh yeah.
Yep.
But sorry, I don't want us to like skip over the episode and go into season 2
Part-
theories.
I think-
we can keep talking.
I think sitting right now, I don't want a season 2.
Yeah, I don't.
Sure.
I don't want to know what she's. I don't want to be told what she's gonna do with those powers.
Mm-hmm.
I want everybody else to just imagine and speculate for the next 40 years when that come out? 85?
So, yeah, around then.
I don't know. But like speculate for the next 20 years about like, oh man, like what could be happening?
What if instead of a second season, they did a 2-hour movie? No?
I don't want more.
You don't want more? No more at all?
Like I do, but I don't want this continued. Like if they're gonna do another season, it needs to be an anthology and it needs to be in a different region with a different set of characters with a different set of problems,
Okay.
or the same problem, which is white supremacy, in a different part of the country where a different group of people are handling that and facing different challenges without the original Watchmen. And if you want to bring one back, Dan is there.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They can always bring Dan Dreiberg in and tell a story with him. I mean, he's the one who really got left out of this. Mm-hmm. And they mentioned him, twice?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
he's in jail. That's all we know. So there's more stories to tell, but if Lindelof doesn't want to come back and do it, then I say they shouldn't.
Yeah.
He crafted the season with so much care, and you could just tell. It was evident.
Mm-hmm.
So, but back to the episode.
Yeah.
Before we just go into this crazy...
Before we get off the rails. Too late.
Yeah. So we're already off the rails. What did you guys think of how they killed Manhattan?
I thought it was...
I don't really know how else you would do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it worked for me.
It made sense. I didn't sit there in disbelief.
Right.
Disbelief, no. Like, he can totally, because of how his disposition towards
changing things
he knows, how he knows the future, and just the fact that it wasn't he didn't go out in a fight, it worked. Mm-hmm. If he was trying to fight it, it would have been a different thing.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah,
he didn't. He just accepted his fate.
Yeah.
I saw an interesting thing about that, and it was talking about how people have a hard time understanding why he doesn't change those kind of events, and because to him that's the past, and the past is fixed. So he can't actually change it because he's already lived it. And I was like, that's probably the most simple way to answer that. It's the past to him. Mm-hmm. He just exists in every moment, so he has to let fixed points in time happen.
Right. Mm-hmm. How did we feel about the conclusion of the 7th Cavalry narrative?
That branch.
The branch. We got a nice melty face.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Once he climbed into the thing, I'm pretty sure every single person was like, he's gonna come out of there like blue goo, or it's gonna show the window and it's gonna explode or something.
He did.
Yeah.
One of my biggest questions though I have is just what is Beyond, the daughter / clone mother, I guess, what is going through her mind? She just killed, I know they're horrible, awful, racist, terrible scumbags of the earth people, but you just it's incinerated 30 people.
Yeah.
Are you okay? She's what, 15 or younger? And then the cops are talking to her after, and she's crying. I imagine it's because her mom just exploded or whatever.
Daughter,
so
mom, daughter, person.
Her relative. Yeah. Just got shot by squid. So I mean,
the squid.
I think, okay, back to season 2. If they do anything, I'd like to explore kind of what's going on with her, because she's probably going to be a psychotic villain now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. She's had her trauma.
Yeah.
Or she becomes a hero.
She's going to be Lube Man too.
Dude, Lube Man. That's what I want in season 2.
Justice for Lube Man, because he did not get his due.
Lube Man and Dreiberg are going to break out of prison together.
Dude, Lube Man's going to squeeze in between the bars all lubed up. Get him and be like, hey, put this suit on, lube up. We're going through. What? But then we have to leave the backpack behind.
How do you feel about
squid fatality?
Squid fatalities. Just maybe that
whole thing.
Little branch off to kind of bring the conclusion around.
I thought it was cool that Ozymandias finally did get to save the day.
Yeah.
And I think you kind of knew it when he runs into the newspaper guy, and he's like, "You look like that Adrian Veidt dude. You could do birthday parties and stuff." And Veidt realized they don't even know who I am. They don't remember me at all, other than I'm just a guy.
Yeah.
And so at that moment, I was like, "Yeah, he's gonna save the day. He's gonna go down as the hero that he's always wanted to." I like that they kind of flip it on its head. Yeah. And they're like, "Yeah, you saved the day, but now you're gonna go to prison." Yeah. Whoa.
But everybody will know.
Yeah, everybody will know it was
probably.
Him.
They'll know he killed 3 million people too. But
yeah.
For me, the squid thing, I thought it was really cool, but I also felt parts of it were kind of inconsistent because I mean, like one goes straight through her hand,
and then other people are
getting hit, and there's like get under the car,
and then it completely blows up a physics engine. Is what I'll call it.
Yeah, like what's
a flux capacitor.
Some bigger squids are falling than others, I guess.
Yeah,
and a lid is safe.
How awesome would it have been to just see another giant squid?
Oh my gosh. Just crush everybody. Everybody dies.
Everyone. End of series. That's how you end the
Reeves
series.
comes out of the Dreamland Theater. He's like, what's going on?
Reeves, the scene with
Reeves and Angela
was so good too.
Yeah.
That was great.
And I thought it was so cool. Like the line that, like, wounds don't heal covered up. Like you can't heal in a mask.
Yep.
I was like, man, that's such a strong line for so many reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Don't hold your pain in.
Yep.
Don't cover up at your feelings. It's kind of a stab at superheroes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's such a strong line and had so many different meanings, and I loved that.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. What else happened in this episode? There was
The Dreamland Theater said Dr. M.
Yep.
It was the only part that was lit up. That was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Nice little foreshadowing there.
Yep. I did.
As well as the poster that came out before the show aired.
Yeah,
where she's blue.
Blue, yeah. Or has at least a blue light on her.
Yeah.
Vite's little rocket ship. I thought that was like his little breakout.
The way he gets home.
And him killing Adam Phillip, the original Phillip.
Yeah.
So sad. Not sad enough to be like, but
Was
sad.
I a good adversary?
No.
But you put on a hell of a show. And I was like, that sucks.
I do think.
And then he calls his daughter a good adversary.
Right.
Because he's such
Adversary?
Adversary.
Adversary?
Adversary. Shut up. Anniversary.
I'm the one who messes up the words,
I know.
Tyler.
I'm taking it from you
Words
this
are hard.
week.
It's okay.
An adversary. Of course, it's his own offspring that he finally admits is a good adversary.
Talking about that though, like that is one of the things that when I look back at the whole season, I do like. I still don't get a lot of that stuff. It makes sense narrative wise why most of it's there, but even the courtroom scene in episode 5 or 6, I still don't get it.
I don't get that either.
Maybe I'm dumb, but like
I hate piggybacking off of this freaking podcast so much. But he explains it and what it is. So the play he was writing was never The Watchmaker's Son. The play he was writing was the courtroom and everything that was going on there because he was just passing time until Lady Truth's satellite passed by again. So everything he was doing was just to pass the time. So he wrote all that dialogue. That's why she looks and winks at him.
Yeah.
Because he wrote that he's acting like he starts crying.
So that was the play.
That's the play. The play is what he was doing with his servants in that moment. All of it was a play. That's why the ranger or the game warden wears a mask partly. He has a costume. They all have a role to play.
I felt like
in
that
the play
could have
he
been
wrote.
easily clarified.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree because like at the time I was like I don't really understand this, but then Lindelof explains that because Craig Mazin's like what is going on? Like why is this a thing? And he's like it was just a way for him to pass time.
Okay. Any other thoughts on the season?
Thanks Lindelof for recording that podcast so that I can
understand.
Drop some knowledge on us.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
I don't know, just to me this last episode it was really, really good. I really loved it. But I felt like the predictableness of it was so much different. Like the rest of the season I've been like, what? Like, and then this one was like, yes. I understand everything. Yeah. This makes sense. I bet this is gonna happen. Yep, it happened. Like it was more classic television superhero.
It's hard to surprise people when you know it's the last episode.
Yeah. Everybody knows what to expect.
It's one of those like I almost you can't do it on traditional television, but I think you could get away with it on streaming services. They don't tell you how many episodes there are. Just be like, tune in.
Yep. Unless you watch the trailer for the next week and they're like 1 episode left.
Just don't give us those trailers. But you gotta market it somehow. I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess my last thought I think on this season was I really appreciated the they wrap the bow on the season, like on the show, on the book. They give you the send off of the characters from the original story. You know, they all get together again. Kind of, you have Looking Glass acting as Rorschach for the group, essentially. I thought it was cool. We got to see Archimedes.
The original one.
Yeah. And just the original group kind of back together. Just like, yeah, well, here we are. This is how it all ends. And it's nice to know that, you know, their story can now be done.
Yeah.
Essentially. Other than Dan just rotting in jail, man. Poor guy. He was the best of all of them. From a personality standpoint.
Sure.
Okay, yeah.
Sure.
But yeah, I guess we didn't really talk about Looking Glass. He popped up and
he did the opposite of what I expected him to do.
Yeah.
So that was cool. I thought he was going to come in just guns blazing, shoot everybody.
So I run in.
Yeah. But no, he was very cavalier and hanging out with the 7th Cavalry, just waiting for his moment to strike.
He seems to be the one, though, who knows how to play the game.
Yeah.
And he played it well. Knew where to be, and even if he didn't know exactly, you know,
what was going on.
He had an idea.
He's always there because he didn't know who all he was going to see there. He didn't realize that this was going down at this time. He just knew that they were out to get him, and now he knew where they were hiding out, so he was going to go back and get them. But he does the right thing. He's kind of that, like, unseen. I don't know. There's a lot of, like, when you think of, like, morality in this world, like, he's kind of that unseen compass, I think, where, yeah, things are shaky sometimes, but when you're in that world, black and white isn't an option.
Right.
But he's always there kind of pointing us to the right direction.
Yeah, I kind of wish there would have been more with him. We really only get the one episode, and then he's kind of just secondary to everything else that's going on.
Well, I mean, he disappears.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
3 episodes.
And, like, it kind of felt like just a way to move a character out of the way to tell a different story, which is fine. But I think he did present probably one of the more interesting characters in the show. Like,
he was one of my favorites.
He had a lot of issues, but ultimately, like you said, he was kind of the moral compass of the show. Like, I don't know. I would have liked to see more of him. I wish they would have had like 2 or 3 more episodes where they could kind of flesh out him and Angela even a little bit more. Because towards the end, we started just getting flashback after flashback. And, you know what I mean? It would have been cool to see more of his story.
I think when you lose that super narrative, like driven, the show ends up being driven not necessarily by a linear narrative, but more by like
a time loop.
The time loop, but also like
which is necessary.
What character are we going to focus on this week?
Right.
It's a character of the week type thing, and while for the majority of it, it does take place in linear fashion because they're so heavily focused on 1 or 2 characters, we often lose track of the others really easily. And that's a balancing act you have to play when you have this many characters and this is the kind of story. I'm not saying that's bad.
And you have that many strong actors.
It does sometimes lend to feeling a little unsatisfied with some of those secondary characters.
Well, because everybody gets attached to one that they really like, and then they don't get the story they wanted. And yeah, you're right.
But yeah, overall, I guess for the season.
Yeah, what are we gonna rate it?
Listen, I know this. It's a rated R TV mature show. I mean, you see a donger in it, and not everybody's gonna want to see that. But the absolute quality of the show, I think you have to recognize that. And for me, it's a booyah.
Amen.
But it's so well made. The acting is so good. The writing, the storytelling, the direction, the cinematography, just everything about it is fantastic.
Yep.
It's one of the best shows of the year. Probably some people's favorite show, I might guess. It's definitely
right
up
now,
there, but I don't want to just sling it into the fanboy worthy category just because
because it's rated R.
Yeah.
Sure.
I feel like that's not fair to it.
Yeah. It deserves better. I agree.
Yeah.
I'd give it an R-rated booyah.
I'll join you guys.
My explanation was so much longer.
No, but it's perfect. I just echo, what you said.
Yeah.
Is that, it's maybe not for everyone, but I do think that the quality of writing, especially the quality of writing, if you guys want to be a writer or you just enjoy good storytelling, not narrative storytelling, there's a difference, but like this is really good writing.
Yeah.
Good characters, good action, good mystery and misdirection, tying all that all in with history and like linking that all back to the burning of Black Wall Street in Tulsa, a real life event, is brilliant.
I think the one word that was left out of there is it's written with such care.
Yes.
For everyone.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I would add to that. You could tell when he wrote the show. I mean,
didn't he even say he's like, I did not want to do this?
Yeah,
unless
he
it
turned
was
going to
work the whole way through.
Yeah,
right.
And his other thing, he's like, look, I'm a straight white guy, and I'm going to write a story about white supremacy and how wrong it is and how it's in our country and how we got to fight back against it. Like that's like if you were to watch that show and had no idea who wrote it, that is not the guy you would picture who wrote that show.
Right.
He wrote with such care. He consulted with the right people. He worked with the right crew to make this thing work. It's so carefully done, but not afraid to push boundaries. And I think that's something that shouldn't go unnoticed.
It should be celebrated.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Seriously.
Absolutely.
And his thing is, if the show does go on and they do a season 2, he would like a woman to lead it, specifically a woman of color.
Yeah.
And I was like, cool, let's do it. I'm in.
Yeah.
I'll watch it, and I don't want it, but I'll watch it.
Yeah.
I like where this ended.
Yes.
Well, we all liked Watchmen.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments. How do you guys feel about Watchmen? Do you want a season 2? Why or why not?
Think there will be a season 2?
There will be a season 2.
And if you think or want there will be a season 2, what would you like them to do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of comment options.
Lots of comment availability.
Or tell us your favorite character.
Yeah.
Tell us your favorite color.
Dang it. Dang it. Your favorite food. No.
If you've made it this long, we're What the Fanboy. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at What the Fanboy. Find more of our YouTube stuff here on YouTube. You can find our podcast pretty much anywhere podcasts are at.
Yep. iTunes, Spotify,
Google
Podcasts, What the Fanboy,
SoundCloud.
You
can also just go to whatthefanboy.com.
Yeah, everything is there.
So this is the last TV talk for this
for
show.
Watchmen.
For Watchmen, yeah, we'll be setting up something for the next time.
That's right. Be on the lookout for that. Until next time, we'll see you.
See you, everybody.
Hey, what are you doing? I'm so glad we're not live right now. Hey, can you go upstairs, please? It is a whistle, but we're in the middle of doing something. Can you go upstairs, please? It's a flute. Yes. I love you.
Wow.
It's a little bit like the Skype interview. Just walking in the background. Yes, I hear your whistle.
Oh my gosh, that was so amazing.